agree Kevin Durant should be number one?
No, Giannis should be number one. I think everybody's already forgotten that Giannis beat Kevin Durant's team in order to advance. They beat Atlanta in the Eastern Conference Finals and then advanced to place the Suns. But Giannis' team did that. I think they're forgetting. They think like, well, Giannis just got hot in the finals and he just had a good month. Giannis in the past 3 years is a two-time MVP with a Defensive Player of the Year. And now trump that with a Finals MVP and a championship. I don't get it. Now, this is what he did against Kevin Durant's Nets team. He was 32-13. He said, yeah, I believe I can do a little bit better against the Suns. He went 35-13-5. He had 3 games of at least 40 with a 50-piece with no napkins in the clinching game. Did we already forget that? Skip Bayless, I just go by the Godfather debate. This is the Godfather debate. Godfather soul is James Brown. The Queen is Aretha Franklin. So the Godfather debate is Skip Bayless. Skip Bayless told me, if a man beats you in the playoffs, if he beats you in the finals, therefore he's the de facto number one. That's the standard in which he used. Well, Giannis beat your guy head to head.
Did he?
Beat him head to head.
Was it Giannis who beat him, or was it the closer for the Milwaukee Bucks, Chris Middleton?
All I know is Giannis had 32, averaged 32-13 in 7 games. And Game 7 was in your building.
And who hit the game winner in that game?
Nobody hit the game winner.
In the overtime?
My guy hit the shot that put him up. That y'all never saw. If we didn't score any more points, we'd beat y'all. But anyway, Skip, look, I get it, Skip. I get it. KD is phenomenal. If they'd have put KD number 2, I'm not even fighting you. You notice I ain't fighting you about anything else. And they got my guy number 5. I ain't fighting you about that.
Okay. I don't even care about your guy. Out of sight, out of mind. He's LeBron James.
Okay.
I've been trying to tell you, it's Kevin Durant. I rest my case. Yet another ranking by a bunch of analytics whizzes, brainiacs.
Yeah.
Third-level stats. They're saying this guy is the guy. Because I just know, if I could put you on a lie detector and I gave you a choice, you could build your team with Kevin Durant just for next year, not on aging, not down the pike, but next year, you'd rather build around Kevin Durant or Giannis.
Well, it's easy to build around Kevin Durant.
Okay, you would take Kevin Durant over Giannis. You just would. Yeah,
it's easy to build. But the better player heading into given what he's done, he did Skip, are we forgetting Giannis just did this? Did you not see what he did to the Suns? Did you not see what he did to the Nets? Are we forgetting
that? What I keep telling you about the Suns, that's on Monty Williams, because he decided to try to single cover Giannis with a 7-footer who's still very young and doesn't play with the highest motor. And DeAndre Ayton could not guard him. And you have to build the wall on Giannis because Giannis has big flaws in his game, glaring weaknesses. He's the opposite of Kevin Durant.
Giannis?
Okay, he has no mid-range jump shot. Kevin Durant is the greatest mid-range jump shooter I have ever seen. He is lethal. He is unstoppably lethal from 8 feet, 10 feet, 12 feet, 16 feet. He just pulls up, he's 7 feet tall, and he shoots it from up there, and you can't bother it.
But why do you do that, Giannis, Skip?
I'm not doing anything. He's just not much of a shooter, right?
Okay, but somehow, for a guy that can't shoot, average 35-13-5 in an NBA Finals, for a guy that can't shoot, you see what y'all did?
But if you let him get downhill on you with single coverage on a 7-footer who can't stay with him on quickness, he is going to destroy you.
He's more dominant. He's dominant.
Yeah.
Is Giannis not dominant?
Okay. Can I go back and show you what happened against Toronto? Can I show you what happened against Miami the next year in the playoffs?
We could always.
They built a wall, and he just shrank. He disappeared.
We can do this.
Look at what happened. They were up 2-0 on Toronto, on Kawhi's Toronto. They lost 4 straight games in which Giannis disappeared. Miami won the first 3 games against Giannis because they just built the wall and said, you can't come in here. You got to shoot jump shots.
I promise you, you can go back and look at every superstar, and you can find a series in which they come up small. It happened to Kevin Durant before he went to the Warriors. You want us to go back and show you some of the series in which he come up small? It happened to LeBron. It happened to Jordan. It happened to Magic. It happened to Bird. We can go back. So don't make it try to be unique to Giannis, like Giannis is the only one that's come up small in a playoff series. It's
when
not.
did Jordan ever come up small?
Because he didn't win 14 championships.
Okay, but he didn't come up small. It was like Larry Bird saying, that's God disguised as Michael Jordan.
But he lost.
Okay, he did lose.
Okay.
But he did not come up small. Giannis shrank.
Did you see that last game? John Paxson outscored him. John Paxson outscored him. He lost 2 games because that was a 3 out of 5 series. You remember back then they played the best 3 out of 5. I'm old enough to remember that. They used to play 2 out of 3, 3 out of 5, and only the conference championship game was 4 out of 7.
Yep.
See, I'm old enough to remember that. See, a lot of times you spew stuff, and the people at home, they young. They don't know any better, but I know. But let's go back. Since you want to go back to 85 when he had the 63, what did he do the next game? 19 points. John Paxson outscored him.
Okay.
So he came up small.
But he was called by your favorite player, Larry Bird. That's God disguised as Michael Jordan.
I called him the next day and asked him, did he want to go play golf? Because he had some free time on his hands. That's what I did.
I don't think you did that.
This guy is dominant. Giannis is dominant.
Really, Kevin Durant is more dominant. And on a lie detector, you would take Kevin Durant any day or night over Giannis.
Skip.
I know you. Chris Middleton is the closer for the Bucks.
Skip.
That's all you need to know. He can't even close for his own team. I got it.
Skip.
He's great. He can do a lot of great athletic things.
We didn't do that with Shaq. Shaq wasn't the closer on the Lakers.
Well, I'm not discounting what Giannis is.
Yes, you are.
I am reinforcing what Kevin Durant is. He's the best player on the planet. And remember, this ranking was done before the Olympics. This just came out. So it's not like they're taking into account that Kevin Durant once again led Team USA to a third
It seemed like it was done before the NBA Finals was over too.
Nope, it was after the finals.
There's nothing the man can't. Okay.
You like to use the word virtuoso. In games 5 and 7 against Giannis's team, Kevin Durant gave you all-time virtuosos. Game 5, it's 2-all. This is at Brooklyn, obviously, but he goes 49, 17 rebounds, and 10 assists. And
was it better than that 50 piece? Was it better than that 50-piece Fletcher? Because we've only seen one of those. We've had how many 50-point games, clinching games have we seen? Only Bob Pettit.
Yeah, it was because there's no Kyrie, and James Harden should not have been playing because he had become a liability.
Oh, now he's a liability.
Well, he was a liability.
Well, Kevin Durant said
he couldn't even run a fast break. He had a breakaway, and he said, "I got to pull up because I can't run."
But Kevin Durant said we just needed him out there just for the spacing because he's still James Harden. That's what KD said.
These are virtuoso performances. In Game 7, he goes 48, 9, and 6, and he hit one of the great walk-off playoff shots.
That nobody will remember.
Okay.
It wasn't no walk-off. He lost.
He had a 1/10 of an inch. He had his toenail over the three-point line, or we're not having this conversation.
But we having this conversation.
Because the game would have been over.
Skip, we probably wouldn't be having this conversation if Go James and AD hadn't been healthy. We wouldn't have been having this conversation. But let's deal with the facts of what we have.
If Kawhi Leonard would have been healthy, we'd be having a whole nother conversation.
We wouldn't be having no conversation.
Yeah.
Skip, at some point in time, you're going to have to get... This man had 3 40-point games out of 6.
The guy,
a 50-piece.
The guy who flamed out and shrank against Toronto and Miami. The guy that you often criticized, you said he can't shoot. What is he shooting threes for? He can't shoot a lick. This is the guy who airballs free throws just like Luka. Between Giannis and Luka, they lead the league in airball free throws.
Well, Skip, how old was Jordan when he won his first championship? Was he 26?
Somewhere in there, I don't know.
He wasn't 26.
90s. Yeah.
This guy 26 years old. He's a 2-time MVP.
Okay.
He's a defensive player of the year.
You can't make the case. He's got too many holes in his game.
Skip, he got
too many holes.
Skip, he got holes in his game, but he averaged 35 and 13.
Okay. You taking him over Kevin Durant? No, you're
Skip,
not.
I'll say right
Stop
now.
it.
Skip, right now.
Nobody's taking him over Kevin Durant.
He's the best player.
Nope.
He's the
best
most dominant player.
He's the most dominant player
right now. He's the most dominant player right now. He's Shaq.
Nope.
He's Shaq.
He's not.
He's Shaq. See what y'all did is that when Shaq was doing what he was doing, Shaq's dominant. Y'all look at Giannis, he got no skills. He's the exact same thing. He's just as dominant as Shaq. He had a playoff series like Shaq, most dominant. That's what he did.
Monty, build the wall. Make him shoot jump shots. Did they make him shoot? Nope, they didn't.
Skip, it's not Giannis' fault. Giannis says, okay, this is where y'all gonna play me. I'm gonna punish you.
He did.
Okay.
He punished him. Kevin Durant, it's like even in the Olympics, it was like 1-on-3. There are 3 guys chasing Kevin Durant, and they can't stop him because he's the best player on the planet. Never seen a more.
Well, Giannis, the Bucks stopped it.
No more efficient.
The Bucks stopped it.
Have you ever seen a more efficient jump shooting scorer?
The Bucks stopped it.
Yeah.
The Bucks stopped right here. The Bucks stopped in Brooklyn.
Did they?
Yeah.
Just because a tenth of a toenail was over the line?
Fear the deer.
Couldn't stop him. Couldn't stop him.
Fear the deer.
No, it's a weak argument.
Hey, what's weak about it, Skip?
Got too many holes in his game.
Hold his game.
Does Kevin Durant have any holes in his game?
Is he the defense? Hold on. Is he the defensive player as Giannis?
No, but he is an underrated rim protector.
No.
Who saved the day again and again for Team USA by rim protecting and blocking shots? It was Kevin bleeping Durant.
Skip, I'm not Skip. We're not arguing that. We know what KD did in the Olympics.